Hey, excellent. So, thank you very much, everybody who is joining us live for today. This is the final day of Development Studies Week, and today we are featuring the Institute of Development Studies, IDS. We're really excited about our two live sessions, which we have. The first today, which focuses on IDS alumni, so former students, about their experience and what they have gone on to do. So, they'll be sharing lots of tips with you. And then the second session later today at 2 p.m. is with current students from a variety of different courses. So, a really sort of deep dive into IDS, the courses, the features, and plenty of chances if you're joining live to ask questions as well. We are recording this session, so it will feature on our Development Studies Week website. So, you can watch that back and see all the links from the previous sessions this week. We also have 5 years worth of different Development Studies Week content on there. So if you would like to see other students, other alumni from a variety of different IDS courses and different careers, please go and watch some of those videos. It's a really useful resource as well. A little bit of housekeeping. We have a chat box, which we'll be using quite a lot today. You can see us if you're joining live. Unfortunately, we can't see you. So if we can get some interaction there, that will be fantastic. You can write any questions to any of the panelists in the chat box, and we'll come to those at a Q&A session during the last part of today's webinar then. We're going to do some quick introductions before we do our first part. My name's James. I'm in the international office and I look after Asia Pacific. So it's my job to help students from that region. So if you are from a country in that region, please get in touch with me. I'll put my contact details in the chat box. I will also put the contact details of my other colleagues in the international office. If you're from a different region, you can connect with them. I'm also joined by my excellent colleague and former Sussex student as well, Takuto Oba. If you'd like to say hello, Takuto.
Hello, my name is Hector, and am the Japanese representative at the University of Sussex. And my main role is to support Japanese applicants and towards University of Sussex. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to assist you in Japanese. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Takuto. Next, we have Mariam in IDS.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for this invitation. I'm really excited to be here. It's my second time participating in Development Studies Week. So my name is Mariam. I'm based at IDS in an alumni office. So I interact with our alumni on a daily basis, and we also run some of the programs, which I'll be talking about briefly, but happy to be here and to connect with everyone.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Mariam. Next, we have Amna.
Hello, everyone. I graduated in 2024. I did my master's in gender and development, and I'm currently working at London Gatwick Airport, and I also work for a New York startup called Borderless.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Amna. Next, we have Shreyan.
Hello, hi. Thank you for having me here. I'm Shreyan. I'm presently in India. I'm speaking from Delhi, and I'm a graduate of 2021 in MA Development Studies. And great to be here, and looking forward to it.
Perfect. Thank you, Shreyan. And then we have Frita next.
Hello everyone, my name is Froweni, but you can call me Frita. I've studied in IDS and I did my master's in gender and development and graduated in 2024. And I'm currently based in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. Nice to meet you all.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Frisha. And thank you, all of you former students, for giving up your time and various different time zones to join us today. I'm sure it'll be really useful for the future students to hear your experience and gain your tips. So excellent. Without further ado, what I will do is hand it over to Mariam, and Mariam's going to introduce us to sort of alumni services and all the features in IDS, man. Thanks, Mariam. Oh, I think you're on mute,
Oh,
Mariam. There we
sorry.
go.
I hope you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see it.
So, um, As I said, I'm Mariam Zabahidze. I'm an Alumni Relations and Development Manager here at IDS. And very quickly, I'll just run through our alumni network, who are IDS alum. We're going to also talk a bit how we help our students while they're at IDS, how Alumni Office interacts with students, and lastly, what sort of programs we have to help them navigate life after graduation, which can be a bit daunting time when students are about to finish their studies, and how we help them throughout their careers as they move along. So I think this is sort of, you can see also on the backgrounds that IDS, together with the University of Sussex, has been #1 in development studies. It's 10 years running. It was quite recently that this was announced, so we're extremely proud of this milestone. So essentially what we do is we try to invest and build the future leadership in international development. So every year we host around 250 students. This includes master's and PhD students. And today, later, as James said, you'll hear directly from our students and teaching for further details. But our alumni community, which gathers all of our MA and PhD graduates together, constitutes more than 5,000 people. If we look at sort of how they are distributed, I think our community is extremely global. We have alumni in more than I think 60 countries in various positions, but the most popular alumni workplaces are international aid organizations, international nonprofit organizations. Some of our alumni work in government, but also in consultancies, and they're self-employed. And I try to gather some of the most popular professions or job titles that our alumni have, as you can see on your screen. So some of our students for alumni go on to work in corporate sectors, some become managers, executives, technical advisors, but we also have alumni who continue their careers in academia, in more sort of university settings, and become researchers. But we also have people who work in the field as an analyst or specialist. So it's quite diverse in terms of career path after graduating. And I'm glad that today we have a few of our alumni joining this session, so they will talk in more detail about their own professional journeys after graduating. In terms of if we look a bit closer to our alumni community, every time I try to put together a notable alumni list, it doesn't serve the purpose, because we have amazing alumni who go on and do amazing things, and it's always difficult to pin it down to one slide. But just to showcase some of our graduates, for example, Isatu Turai, she is a very prominent women's rights advocate and a former vice president of Gambia. We also have Joanna Kerr. She also did gender and development. I think we have 2 of our alumni who did this MA. I think she studied in the 90s, and then she became CEO of ActionAid and did a lot of different things in gender and international environment space. In terms of how we support alumni, so here I've tried to gather a few areas of work. So first of all, we engage with our students already, and although they only become alumni when they graduate, we also try to link students with alumni as they join IDS through different events, industry talks. We try to showcase what sort of career path might look like. We also try to connect them with alumni they might be interested to talk with about their specific workplace, or some of the areas of work that they might have future interest. We also give students and alumni opportunities for publication. So you can work with the alumni office to develop a blog post. It could be linked with the dissertation topic, or in general, the area of work you are interested in and would like to get feedback on the writing and how to translate more academic writing into more popular language. And we also run a few mentoring programs. Whilst you are as a student at IDS, you can join group mentoring program. Usually we host this in the second term. And one of our former alumni runs these sessions, and it is consists of it lasts 6 months and really creates like groups in a group setting, a safe space to discuss what you want to do in the future. We also have more traditional matched mentoring one-to-one, and our alumni can sign up as a mentor or mentee, and we have different resources to help both of them. And then we also have Ask an Alum service where you can search and on our network page if you're interested to connect with any of our alumni to discuss variety of topics. And lastly, as a IDS and Sussex alum, you have access to Careers Hub whilst you are at the university, and also 3 years after you graduated. So really, our office tries to welcome students when they are here, try to help them to connect with any alumni they're interested in, and then throughout our programs we try to support their career development. I think this is all my slides very briefly. Thank you all very much, and if you'll have any questions, I think we'll have time towards the end, but I'll stop here. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Mariam, for the great introduction there as well. Just a reminder with questions, I think we've had a question from Noreen just asking how you can ask questions. You can put that into the chat box, Noreen. So if you put those just where you wrote to us, we'll come to those questions at the end as well. You can also put it in the Q&A feature. So either of those we'll check at the end and we'll come back to those questions as well. So again, if anyone's got any questions for Mariam, put them in the box and we'll come to those at the end of the session then. So we're going to go over to our star guests today, our former IDS students as well. And we're going to start first of all with Frita. I'll hand over to you.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I just need a little bit of time to collect my thoughts again. Okay, I said my name is Frita, and I'm currently based in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. And after I graduated from IDS and then went back home, because first of all, I was a Chevening scholar. So after ending my master's, I had an obligation to go back home and then serve my community. So when I get back home now, I'm currently working actually 3 things. So first I can tell you a little bit about why I did choose IDS to begin with. When I was working in development sector, I had I would say questions, and a lot of questions about development work and curiosity. And then I was looking for universities and to do my master's and then to kind of relate to the questions that I had. And IDS stand out in a way to reimagine how development work is from the ground, and then decolonial perspective, participatory and all this. And it kind of related to the question that I had at the moment. And I've researched the professors and what IDS does. And my best friend studied there. That also helped because she gave me a lot of information. And then I was very interested, and that's why I did go to IDS to begin with. And during my stay there, I can say that it transformed the way I think, changed my perspective entirely. I've studied with a lot of amazing people, and our classroom was very kind of the debates, the conversation, and every day I'll be wow, every time. And I have to say, I didn't get an answer to all of my questions, to be honest. But when I get out of ideas, I was able to ask even more better questions to the work that I was working. And that helped my career path like a lot, because in a way, like it was not convenient to everybody the way I think and the way I see the world. But when the right people meet me, it was like all aligned. So I was able to ask better questions. I was able to like give critical feedback, I would say, and then like kind of like see change, rethinking things, especially like in development work. So now I work in like 3 places technically. The first job that I have is NIRAS. It's called NIRAS International Consulting Firm, and there is a bilateral project between Ethiopian government and the Finnish government, and they do have like a WASH project. It's a long-standing WASH project in Ethiopia, and then we work with the rural community. And I joined the federal team as a gender and social inclusion specialist. So that's my like main job. I also have another job with Caribbean-based organization, and mainly it's an like a remote consulting job, and the organization works in environment, climate change, and gender spaces. And I work as a project management associate and gender specialist. The other thing I do, Miriam, like you mentioned, Nana is actually like my mentor, because she's a CEO of an organization called Forward UK, which works like to empower young feminist individual from African region, and then they provide a seed fund to implement our own social action project. And I'm also a fellow there, and I implement my own project in like the areas that I'm working, which is like within the conflict affected areas, and then people who lives in internally displaced camp. So these are the things that I do currently. And if I have to like when I was in IDS, I was also a part of a group mentoring with Roy. It lasted for 6 months, and it was very like crucial, because even after we left, the support was there. Roy is an amazing human being, and like even by like like when you start, you're done with your masters, and then you go back and you have to kind of like adjust with like looking for a job, like, and there is a window of period. I have to say, like, there is 2 or 3 months that I didn't have anything to do. And even with that time, like the moral support were there, sharing opportunities, and you can ask any question and guiding you through like how to kind of like position yourself in a workspace, like for interview, like CVs and all these things. And I say like it was really amazing. And during our time there, it was also, the support was incredible. And we had a meeting every month. I personally loved it. And I know a lot of people, different people can have like different experience in that setting. But personally for me, it was really helpful. And it continued after that, even for a year. And even until now, I personally can reach out to Roy anytime to ask like career advice. And even by the time when you are in dilemma about like what to choose, what to do, like which path to take, and all of these things, and the support is there. And the other thing is like how ideas, like studying in ideas, helped me in my like career path now. Is like I work a lot of like in proposal development, and like my main job in my other job is to write proposals. I like to design programs. And like I say, what ideas made me is like, even though I didn't have like all the answer to all of the question that I had, again, I was able to ask better questions. And and in program design, I was able to see like, for example, before joining IDS, there are a lot of things that I used to think it's normal, It's not like something to think about, like who's left behind, like what's missing, like which perspective that I didn't see, or like to see the things that you think like, oh, it's a norm. It's not really a norm. And you have to like see it from it. Like that's how, like if you start asking better question in a design stage, and it gets along in like implementation, and when you do your job, when you evaluate. And also it helped me. I joined in this other program like toward the end of the project, and then toward the beginning of like next phase. So it helped me to see, like, to analyze what has been done and what's missing, and how can we use like the gap like we've identified based on the tools and like the discussions. And like every time I sit down and to see something, it's also a kind of a burden, because every time I sit down and to see something, and usually it was black and white for me, it's either like now it's like it's not all black and white, and you have to ask, you have to like critically think and all of these things. And I think it makes you a better development practitioner, and you can see it in the work that you do, the feedback you get from like your supervisors, and like in a room that you sit, in a conversation, in the connection you made, you can really see it. So I think these are the things that like kind of like have me shaped and shape my career path. Even like I get an opportunity to attend like big events. Like I recently like went to attend the CSW, the 691, and it was funny to me. I don't know, I'm like super biased. I like to think that I'm not biased, but from all the side events or like the events that I've attended, the only one that like I'm like, this is good that I said was the one Ideas organized. And and I'm like, okay, maybe there's a little of bias, but I can see why it's different, because in a lot of rooms, like everyone speaks like separately within themselves. For example, if there is an NGO, they speak within themselves. There's donors, they speak, the government delegates. But when it comes to Ideas, when they organized the event, there was everyone in the room, and then you can see it from the discussion, and because everyone's perspective was included, so the discussion was more nuanced, there was question. And I'm like, yeah, this is like it makes you kind of like, in my opinion, a better development practitioner. And I don't know, maybe like in the future there might be like other like approach, like methods, tool that comes like for what it means to be a development practitioner. But from what I know, and what I know after I studied in Ideas, there is a clear difference in the way I think and in the way I do work. And then there's a clear difference, like how I interact with people and the kind of people, the kind of like feedback and response I get from like a well-established development practitioners, I would say. So these are like my kind of like reflections. And if I have to give like any tip for anyone who's like considering to come to Ideas, I would say start exploring the pages. And they do like post like a lot of information in their social media and then in the website. And if you have the time to do so, like attend the webinars and the panel discussion that's happening in the area that might interest you, because you can see like the teams, the common themes that comes out of like every discussion and how the thinking works within the institute. And then you can you should be able to shape like how you write your personal statement, or like the proposal that you need to write so that you can apply. And also like research the professors and engage with the work they do, like read. And that's what I would say. And if you reach out to alumni, that's also like a one way to do so. Like you can reach out to alumni. I think like there's support for everything that you need, so use that. That's what I would say. Thank you. I don't want to take too much time. Thank you so much.
No, thank you so much, Rita. That was a really passionate and enlightening talk there, sharing your experience and all you learnt on the course, how it helped you shape new questions. It sounds like you're super busy to have 3 jobs, 3 roles as well. So thank you so much for giving up your precious time. I'm not sure how you balance that. I think maybe some time management skills I would learn and find useful from yourself. We have some questions people have asked you, Rita, and we'll come to those at the end of the session. And thank you so much for that tip for our new students. That's really useful as well. So next we'll move over on my screen. I can see Shreyan. So I'll hand over to you, Shreyan, please.
Hi, thanks, James. I'll quickly share up my screen. And yeah, so I hope everyone can see it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's perfect. Thanks, Shreyan.
That's great. That's great. So, hello everyone. I'm speaking from Delhi right now. It's It's summers now, so it's really hot. So I'm going to share quickly about my journey from ideas to getting into the impact sector. I'm working in the education sector in India since 2021. After I completed my graduation, I started off working in Delhi with the state government on strengthening the public education system. After which I moved further into working in a non-profit called as a Central Square Foundation, where my role was more on to the ground level, where I could see the implementation from policy to practice. And as I was working with the districts, that you can also understand as the middle tier government officials. And after that, I briefly also worked with World Bank with a project in Tanzania. I was working out of Delhi for that. And presently, I'm part of KPMG India. I'm working in their education and skills team based out of Delhi. So I'm more of a professional who can say or probably I would like to call myself as an education sector professional since my journey from IDS. And that is my introduction. Now, the question comes that how my journey defined and how development studies define me and why did I choose IDS. So, I'm a graduate in law and I've also studied in media. So, I always had a inclination of moving towards the world of development and understanding in what is happening around and trying to solve certain problems. So when I got to know about IDS, I decided to quickly jump into it because at IDS you have a great opportunity of equipping yourself with a global lens and having a practice-oriented learning. So it's not restricted to theoretical understanding. It's a blend of theory and practice together, which is very important and pertinent for addressing the real world challenges. The core strength of IDS, from my experience, and also I can say from the experience of the people that I'm aware of, I know of really well, is the strength of the faculty because they bring in a lot of diverse pools of experience in not only in education and governance, but also in social protection, in conflict, in agriculture, and many more layers of development practice that I can think of. Since my inclination had always been towards education and governance, so I tried to direct my journey in IDS, focusing on the blend or the integration of education with governance. But you get a lot great opportunity to explore many other domains of in the field of development, and also having a direct interaction with all the faculty members because they are extremely helpful and supportive in many aspects. So, thirdly, when I speak of development, I see it as a cross-cutting area. So at IDS, the core, you will be able to see things not in isolation, but you will see them as interconnected. So, like I've written here, that it's a great way of understanding things with an interdisciplinary and systems thinking approach. System thinking is a buzzword. It's coming up really high, and when we work in development, we have to think it through, not from one lens. We have to think it from multiple lenses. When we are engaging with governments, when we are engaging with non-profits or any other or our key stakeholders, that is the people. So that's what IDS equals to about. Fourthly, the vast pool of the alumni network. So I'm really grateful for the alumni network and the things. So I would be happy to share one example because last year in 25, I had an opportunity of presenting a paper in the University of Sussex. So I was back in IDS. I was back on campus and I got an opportunity to meet a lot of old friends, faculty members, and alumni helped it quite strongly in bringing us all together. And otherwise, also it extends you great support, like what Mariam said, in supporting in publication opportunities or helping you connect with the right person. So it's really strong and it's really strengthening because in IDS we believe a lot on community building. It's not an individualistic approach; it's a collective approach. And lastly, I'll talk a little on my own journey, which helped me bridge from law or media to development studies. So IDS has given me that platform because it has a transitioning role in my life. So I would say it had given me a strong approach. I'll share some highlights on my own journey, on my own pathways, like what I did in IDS. So first, like I just mentioned about, we believe in building communities. So when I was in IDS, me with few students, we started the initiative called the IDS Education Hub, where we tried bridging the gap between education and development. And IDS wholeheartedly extended us with a great platform and supporting us in organizing an event, which we called as a participatory workshop we had organized just before our dissertation. I still remember that. And it brought all of us together, and we tried solving problems together in an activity based format by bringing theory and, like I said, theory and practice together. Also, it gives you a lot of opportunities to network across throughout the year. So you would be keep engaging with meeting different new peoples, learning about new experiences. And since you IDS brings together a lot of global practitioners, so you have a vast opportunity to get to meet a lot of people. Now, since research is extremely important, so I'll speak a little on my own dissertation topic and how IDS helped me bring up a good dissertation. That's what I believe it was good. That I worked on a study in back in India, that how India's food distribution program was affected during COVID, and how there was a response to it. And in IDS, you learn a lot on the research methods, because there's a lot of emphasis on bringing evidence-based research on the table, or on your paper, to be stand corrected. So it through my mentors, through the faculty members, and also through the peers, you get to learn a lot of different research methodology by putting your thoughts or putting your experiences or practices that you've been doing on paper, backed with solid academic rigor. And lastly, IDS also appreciates the work that you've been doing. So I also had the opportunity of being featured in the IDS Impact Story for the work that I've been doing. And lastly, that I'm very, very thankful to IDS, which brings together all the things that I've just spoken, is about publications and presentations. So through IDS, by you've been engaged with a lot of writing, a lot of academic papers, and this has been with me till now, where I try publishing in different journals and different academic platforms. And like I just mentioned, last year I was here in Brighton to present one of my papers. And yeah, so these are some great things that helped me shape my journey. And to conclude, I would say that being in Brighton itself is a really different feeling. You get to meet a very warm and very welcoming uh, people, and not only from across the world, but also the people who are living in Brighton. So it's a great place to be at, and yeah, it's a truly a journey to look forward to. And I'll be happy to address more questions. I'll be sharing my personal email address along with my LinkedIn profile uh, if you want to connect, if you want to discuss, you want to talk, you want to understand more deeply. I'll be more than happy to support. And thanks again, James, for facilitating this. And I won't be taking a lot of time now. I think so. Thank you.
Excellent, Shreyan. Thank you so much. That was a brilliant presentation. Great to see your pictures and the features there as well. Congratulations on featuring in the impact story there as well. Some really great points I think you make. We get a lot of questions about what makes IDS unique, and sort of all of your talk really pointing out the main attributes, what made it unique and so helpful for you, like the point about the multiple lenses, global lenses, the sort of theory and practice, and all of the experience of the academics. You really bring that to life. So thank you so much for sharing that and preparing those slides as well. Last but not least, we are going to move over to Amna.
Thank you, James. Hi, everyone. So I am from Pakistan, Karachi, and I did my undergrad from Social Development and Policy in Karachi. And I had double minors. I did Communication and Design, and I did Comparative Literature. So when I was making my decision to join a master's program, I think the major motivator was that when I got selected for various projects with the World Bank or UN, they always had this requirement to get a master's degree, which does happen in the development field quite often. So while I was doing a lot of freelance projects, I realized that that perhaps is the only thing pulling me back from actually getting all of these projects. So hence I decided to join my and start my journey for getting a master's degree. When I was shortlisting, I did get the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, but I didn't want but I had a different angle because I was like, if I am moving abroad and if I am going, then I don't want to be, stuck with coming back. Obviously, I want to go back, but in position that I want to, right? It has to be my choice. So then I was able to get personal sponsors as well as like financial sponsorships from individuals who wanted me to go abroad and study, and then came this whole option of which university I should join abroad. And it was all around the world. It wasn't even just UK that I was looking at. But I think the reason why I joined IDS, there were several factors there. But as Shreyan said, the faculty was being one of the first and foremost options. And secondly, when I was shortlisting, I saw that and I understood deeply that IDS really works to have an idea of the decolonized lens. It works really hard to bring out the decolonization in its degree. And when I started comparing, one of the major factors was when I saw gender and development being the IDS like title, one of the courses, versus any other degree that you look at, it's often framed as gender and international development, which often isolates the global south into the international degree, whereas for IDS it was gender and development. Like it did not put the global south or any other parts of the world into a different degree, which made a huge difference for me personally. So that is why I decided to join IDS. And also Brighton being a massive factor, I was looking at the areas I can live in, where will I be happy in terms of not just the university but the environment and the place that I will be living at for perhaps 1, 2, 3 years. And surprisingly, I've stuck around for 3 years. So I think I made the best decision because we get the sunniest days and we have the beach. Um, and trust me when I say it makes such a massive difference in where you're staying. So that was one of the bigger factors as well. I think with IDS and specifically with Sussex as well, I was very privileged and lucky because immediately I started working as the University of Sussex ambassador. And then immediately after I graduated, so that helped me a lot in terms of monetary benefits as well. And then when I graduated, I was able to help disabled and differently abled students um, as like who were undergrads by working as a support consultant for Amano, which is directly linked to Sussex as well. So these were some of the job opportunities I got immediately. And then beyond that, I think with IDS, I too was able to, while I did come from the development degree and background already, it did help me stack up my own credentials. It did help me in a lot of ways. I think one of the biggest benefits of IDS is that every subject that you take, every course that you take, you will, whatever paper you're writing, you will get a mentor, like a professor who will be helping you in every paper that you do, which was such a big benefit for me. It was something that I didn't think would be possible in the sense of how the professors would be able to give time to each an individual student, and especially when gender and development was 33 students back in our cohort. But every professor, like anything I chose, for example, if I chose Karachi, like I chose Pakistan as my dissertation topic, and there was a professor who knew everything about it, and they would dissect and write with me. I did agency and autonomy, and someone had a PhD in it. When I decided to do, for example, genocide and resilience, then someone had a degree in it. So I think with IDS, it was really, really brilliant that I could choose any topic. I literally tried to do Bangladesh and someone knew about, so it was just very lovely to have so much support. I think that was one of the biggest, while even if I thought that some of the topics I've already done before, it was still a different angle for me because there was some expert there who could help me out so much more. And I think with this benefit, what happened with me was that I was able to publish my dissertation. So I was able to publish it, and then I was selected for a conference in Paris where I presented my dissertation digitally. And then recently, I was able to also I was selected for the LSE Inequalities conference, and I was able to go there and present there personally. Made a lot of contacts, met brilliant people. Was able to really tap into different sort of, even IDS individuals I met there. So it was a really nice network to get into. And I'm now working to send my paper to a lot of more conferences. I'm able to build on my research topic. I'm also thinking of eventually considering a PhD. So I think and I was not someone who wanted to do a PhD. So I think with ideas that sort of happened and snowballed as well, where I was like, oh, I'm really into academia more so than I thought. And I think because I was able to do my degree, take a bit of time, get into the job market, then come for masters, and now I'm in Brighton. And it does really help and get you up. Now, currently, I'm working in London Gatwick Airport as a market researcher. So again, I think kudos to IDS because again, I'm able to really flex my qualitative and quantitative bones here. I help in a lot of surveys. Gatwick is a massive employer here, and they're really, really appreciative about, and they obviously are very well aware of IDS as well. And I'm able to help with the data analytics and help with the survey questions, how to approach customers, and how to interview them as well. And I'm also continuing my job with Borderless. It's a New York-based startup where I work as I used to work as a UX research person, like manager, where I was able to again join qualitative and quantitative alongside my personal tech experience. But now I'm helping them with more so after graduating, I'm able to help them with project management as well, which has been an escalation in the career as well. Beyond that, I'm not sure if I'm forgetting something. I'm trying to look if I have. No, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I hope I was able to help you all out, and I'm up for connecting via email as well. And if there are any other questions, let me know. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Amna. Another great talk, really useful as well, and complements what Shreya and I think Frita were talking about. Great work on the dissertation as well. So impressive going to Paris to share that there and looking at the LSE conference as well. So a really great example of what you can actually do with your research, and great to know it's inspired maybe considering a PhD as well. So that's really useful as well. So thank you so much for sharing. Thank you all for sharing your experiences as well. I think we've had a few questions, so I'm going to move first of all, and thank you everyone who has been commenting in the chat box as well. Just to say it's great to see a real diversity of different courses and different countries, and it sort of reflects the sort of diversity of nationalities we actually attract at IDS at Sussex as well. So yeah, really appreciate all of your comments and thoughts in there. I think let me just move back and I will find the first question, and this was for Petro, or from Petro, sorry. And Petro's question was to Frita, and they say, thank you for sharing. Did you connect with your current employers through IDS? And what's the difference? What difference did your master's qualification make to your career opportunities? So two questions for Frita there. Did you connect with your current employers through IDS? And yeah, how has it helped you in your career?
Thank you. I think you guys ask a very serious questions. Nobody told me that to be okay. I think, did I connect with my current employers through IDS? I wouldn't say directly, but indirectly, because like I said, I work in 3 places. The first one, if I start with Nana, me and Nana met in Oxford conference, a conference in Oxford, for African, there was an African day to celebrate African Day, and there was a week conference. And we went there and we've met. And when I say I study in IDS, he was like, oh, okay, I did also study in IDS. So it does start the conversation. And then she was the one, like, I told her about my background and I do this, I do that. And then she was like, you should be a very good fit for the program we currently have, which is like the fellowship. And then she sent me the link. I got interviewed, selected. So that's how it happens. So I believe that, like, it helps you start I mean, I don't want to downplay the fact that, like, IDS is the #1 institute in the whole world for development studies. And when people know that, like, you studied in IDS, it automatically, like, kind of like put you somewhere, or like people will be interested to talk to you, or like to learn what you're gonna say. So I think that's like one benefit. The other job, which is the consulting, like the international consulting that I do, my friend who studied with me, she used to work there. And the CEO, again, she wanted someone to represent the Africa region because they wanted to expand in Africa, because they were based in the Caribbean and Latin America and then some part of Asia. So my friend said, like, okay, can I like share the CV of my friend who's currently in Ethiopia and then was willing to. And I think it puts you, like, open the door for you when people, like, I understand how it's stressful it can be, like, to look for a job. You might think that, like, your CV is perfect, and sometimes you see the requirement and be like, that almost feel like they're calling your name, right? But if your CV is not reaching to the right people, like, you'll be number in the system. So I think when it helps is when you CV reach to the right people, and then they were able to see your experience and then where you studied, and these things, like, really matters. And then of course, like, the interview, and then whether you align with, like, what they wanted, and then they did value what you offer. Because I remember I was interviewed for other role, but they gave me a better role, like, kind of like they created another opportunity and be like, where we would see you is like fitting here, not here. So, and I'm like, that kind of thing it does. And the other thing also, like, for the job that I'm currently working, I think where studying in IDS helped me was, like, the first thing was, like, the fact that I'm a Chevening scholar. It helped me to be in, like people know you're a Chevening scholar. I don't know. I wish I know what, like, and I tell you, like, what it is, but it's just my experience. And then, like, it's kind of like put you somewhere, right? Like, they'll be like, oh, you're a Chevening scholar, so they will be interested to talk. Oh, you studied in IDS. Okay, what else? And then you have, like, other background. And before I went to the UK, I've been working with different international organizations. I was already in development sector. So, but where I see this, like, how IDS helped me was, like, for this job, right? They were looking for someone young, and the position that I am like holding now, it was for people, I think, with 10 plus years experience. So what they did was, the recruiter really wanted someone young, and, like, kind of, it also, like, helps how he thinks was, like, just because you have 25 years experience in working in one sector, that doesn't make you specialist. That was he said. He said you might be doing the same thing for 25 years. So he was like, I don't really care about the years of experience people have. I want, like, different insights, and, like, people that can bring different insights. So the interview was informal. And when I went to talk to, like, the recruiter, what they did was, it was not a structured interview question. They asked me whether I read the previous project report, and I did. And then they asked me, like, what can I do better? And what do I think about it, like, informally? And then I was just talking about, like, from the study that I made, like, how, like, we used to think and we used to study in IDS, and then, like, the decolonial perspective and the question, because they were talking about, like, bringing women to leadership position. And I think I was the only person in the panel who asked, okay, but what does it mean, like, for the women? How do you see empowerment? Like, all these questions, just because you bring women to leadership position and then they're just serving coffee and like food for the community, that doesn't really like helping them. So I was just asking the question because I was not even aware that was an interview, to be honest. Because they did call me informally and then they were asking me informal chatting, and then I was just talking about these whole things that I think, oh, I want to change about the development sector. And then all that was, I didn't know, but that was an interview. And then that was what they wrote in the feedback form, saying that like I said this, and then they think that's important and that's different. And I'm like, okay, so do like what I believe, why I strongly believe the reason I was able to like say all those things was because what I've learned in IDS and how it changed my perspective and how I see the development sector. And if I were about to be in that same room before 2 years back, I would have probably said the same thing, because that's what I know. So I don't know if that helps and that answer your question, but that's how my experience is. And then that's how I believe that studying in ideas shaped how I see things in development sector completely. And I also think that maybe meeting right people at the right time and people who thinks, because if they were not receptive of my ideas also, this wouldn't happen. So there's a lot of factors to like where I am and like at this time in my life, but I think ideas played like huge part in the way I think and the way I see things and the way I speak, the way I write and all these things. So I don't know if that answers your question. I hope it helps.
That's really helpful, Frita. I'm sure they will agree as well. I think a really practical example of the interview and yeah, how sort of what you've learned seeped into that and influenced sort of your practical answers and helped you with that job. So thank you so much for sharing that as well. I've got a question from Calvin, and I'm probably going to address this to Shreyan and Amna then, just to get your sense of experience coming from India and Pakistan. And Calvin has asked, what is the biggest challenge international students typically face when they arrive at Sussex, and how does the university help them overcome it? So if I could ask you both to share how you first felt when you arrived at IDS and Sussex, if you had any challenges and how you got support for that. I'll go to you, Amna, first of all, please.
Yes. I don't know. I mean, I was so happy to get out of the city and country and home, honestly. I was like leaping for joy when I reached Brighton first. Like I was like, oh my God, there's so much. I think it's just such a different environment. And I was very happy to live alone. But I think I don't think there is that sort of homesickness or feeling alone or left out. I think specifically if you're living inside the uni campus, because there's just representation everywhere. You have every single ethnicity present. You have so much diversity, and you have, I mean, not that there were many Pakistanis around, but there were more than enough South Asian representation to go with. Um, so I didn't feel excessively isolated, but I do think there are multiple pressures of how will I earn, will I get enough money, will I be able to go, without resources. But I think with Sussex, it was very ideal. As the other people said, go to the sessions, go to everything that is being given, because I went to some random introductory sessions that were just happening for maybe undergrad some days or master students. And that's when I found out about the Sussex Ambassador Program. That's when I found out about multiple career opportunities. We got access to career database. I used to apply for random jobs, figured out about Indeed. Literally, there's this application called Too Good to Go. If you're low on money, you can get like, food that is in surplus value for much cheaper. So I think these tips and tricks were really helpful. Then I obviously was very lucky to find community immediately. So that really helped ease the burden. But I think there's somebody around for anything. Like even when I was applying for my Schengen visa to travel, even when I was trying to figure out if I can travel while being enrolled, all of these questions were very easily answered by um, not just the offices that you can go to in the student center, but also like the students or the alumni or anyone else that you can reach out to. Everyone's super, super helpful. So I think that would be my answer.
Perfect. Thanks, Amna. And how about you, Shreyan?
I traveled to Sussex in 2020. That was the time when the lockdowns was just lifting, and I we were all a bit apprehensive that how it's going to be like and what's going to happen because the lockdowns also felt very different across different countries. Like in India, it was very different. Probably in the UK, it was very different. But before traveling, the university actually helps you a lot in getting connected with the people who are going to come to Sussex. So through that, I was able to meet some people, and so that we could travel together. And just on a lighter note, I met my partner only through Sussex, and we both travel together, and we are together now. So yeah. So those are the things. And when I was in Sussex, when we reached Sussex, in Brighton especially, so yes, there were apprehensions, but it's a very inclusive place, and all it requires is to speak, be proactive, talk to people, even if you're feeling low. They are very welcoming, and the university really supports you in very different forms. Like formally, it would provide you services so that if you're having some challenges, you can get over with it. And they are very responsive, and even with your peers. So, like what Anna said, you have a huge community there. You have like people are very inclusive, so everyone is willing to help you out. Everyone is there to support you when needed, and it feels like it's not really a challenge to be there. It's probably an opportunity to be there and be around and live that place. To be very honest, and I myself do miss being in Brighton right now since I'm dealing with the summers here. So. So yeah, and
Perfect.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, thank
Oh,
you.
thank you, Shreya. No, that's really useful to know and sort of highlighting, I think, all the support on offer as well. And great to know you met your partner as well at IDS. So thanks for sharing that. We've got a few minutes left, and I think probably a really pertinent question at the moment for everyone, which I'm going to sort of bring over to Mariam as well, is I'm just going to find the question as well. Yes, Bruno. Yes, so this is from Barno Mariam, and given that many multilateral and bilateral aid agencies are presently reducing aid budgets, where do you see career opportunities in development? Are there any subsectors that are growing? So, is there any sort of new trends that you're noticing given the sort of biopolitical, situational, geopolitical situation at the moment, Mariam? Oh, I think we've lost your audio. Oh, we're back.
Hello?
No, I think we can hear you now. Just try again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfect. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, very conveniently, Zoom tried to lose my voice because a very tough question to answer. So, because yeah, it is quite a challenging time, I'd say, for development. But if I look at the job market in general, and I hear that from people who work in different industries as well, it is going through some tough times because it's all linked with all other socioeconomic movements around the world. But if I may speak to some of the trends that I've been noticing, is that while there is a more sort of increase job opportunities coming from non-traditional development actors, such as could be private sector, and you can see two of our alumni, or even three of them, working with different private sector organizations, and you can find development relevant work in private sector, whether it's through consultancy or through their CSR or ESG programs. So that's one area of work. And then whilst the traditional donors are declining, there are different platforms that are being created. For example, large philanthropic organizations are teaming up to see how they can unlock private capital to have more sort of blended finance tools that can fund development projects. So I think it is a challenging time, but it's also exciting to see some of the new movements. And it changes quite frequently, I think, because I myself studied at IDS some 10 years ago, and that was the time when Paris Accord was signed in 2015 and the SDGs were out. And it was completely different time how things were talked about. And just 10 years later, it changes again. So one thing constant about development that is constantly changing, and I think IDS does teach you to be very flexible, adaptive, and creative about things. So whilst, yeah, I don't think if this answers directly your question, but it's definitely not all gloom and doom as it might seem at the first sight.
Thank you, Mariam. Thanks for sharing those insights, what you've seen, and sort of highlighting the sort of private opportunities, funding there as well. I think that leaves us on more of an optimistic note as well. And thank you so much for everyone for joining us, Mariam, Shreyan, Amna, Frita. Thank you for all sharing your experiences as well. As I did mention earlier, we have another live session at 2 o'clock today if you're joining live. So you can come and meet 3 different current IDS students. And Linda Waldman from IDS as well will be giving a talk more generally about IDS and the teaching side then as well. So thank you again to all of our panelists for joining, and thank you very much for everyone who's joined us live. And yeah, wish you a top day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.